sun salutation. So you can stand at the top of your mat. And take a moment as you're standing here, really start to feel yourself grounded. So as you're looking down at your feet, you can ground through your heels, the ball of your foot, and also the outer edge of your foot. Starting to feel even weight on both sides. So if you have a tendency to lean more weight into the right, this is where you can start to center and rebalance yourself. Your knees are a little buoyant, a little bit soft here. You want to feel your belly button pull back towards your spine. You can feel your heart lift and your shoulders roll back, which leaves space for your chest and your lungs to remain open. And then finally, you want to pull the head back just a little bit here. This is a very common tendency we see where we protrude forward with the chin from looking at computer screens or phones. And so draw the head back. You can very gently humble your chin. So bringing the chin towards your chest slightly, and your palms can face forward. And if your eyes are still open, this is when you can close your eyes. And focus your awareness in your breath. You want to feel how the breath not only fills your lungs, but also fills the entire body. You can feel that breath as you send it down into your fingertips and all the way down into your feet and your toes. And as you exhale, feeling more rooted, more grounded in this stance, Tadasana, mountain pose. Check in and notice if your shoulders are tense, if you're pulling them towards your ears. Can you soften and relax your shoulders? Take another couple of breaths here. Beginning to invigorate your mind and your body. You can open your eyes if you'd like, or you can keep them closed. And with an inhale, you want to reach up, nice big stretch to the top. And on your exhale, fold forward, turn your palms out, and then swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Relax your head. Take an inhale, bring your hands to shins, lengthen the spine, so chest forward, shoulders back, belly engaged. With your exhale, fold again. Relax the back of your neck, relax your shoulders. And stay in your forward fold. You can sway a little from side to side, rocking. You want to feel how the spine is decompressing in this space. So your head is really heavy. Relax your jaw. And as you sway from side to side, the shoulders release a little more deeply. Make your way back to neutral and roll to standing. So vertebrae by vertebrae, you're rolling up. Bringing yourself back into Tadasana, mountain pose. Once you get to the top, your shoulders can come up, roll back, and then down away from the ears. Inhale, reach to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana, nice big open standing position. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, hands to shins, lengthen the spine, chest forward, shoulders back, belly in. And then fold on your exhale, bend your knees, and this time hold onto your elbows, ragdoll position. You can keep the knees bent so long as your upper body is nice and soft. So you want to feel the shoulders relax, the back of the neck relax. And if you choose, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit here. You want to imagine pushing your inner thighs to the back wall. Keep steady in your breath. And then release your arms. Again, roll to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up. Bring your shoulders to your ears, back and down. Last inhale, bring your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Take a halfway lift, hands to shins, extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and rise. Bring your arms up, palms together. Interlace the fingers and take a stretch to the right.
With an in-breath, bring it back to center, inhale. Exhale to the left. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, stretch to the right. Back to center, inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. And then turn your palms out, swan back, straight legs, Uttanasana. Take your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. This time you're folding, plant the hands, and step back into plank position. So first plank, you're going to take a few breaths here. Fingers spread wide, shoulders strong, chest extends to the front, heels push to the back wall. Come down to your knees, and slowly down to your belly. Baby cobra, heart forward and up. And as you exhale, bring it back into your tabletop position. From your table, let's take a few cat-cows. So as you inhale, you're lifting your tail, drop your belly, lift the chest and your head. Round on your exhale. Push the shoulder blades, push the low back to the ceiling. Inhale again, arc the spine. And then rounding through your exhale. Prefer to move side to side, or maybe if you prefer to move your spine in circular or figure eight movements, you can. Keeping the body moving the same rhythm. Make sure to move in both directions if you're moving in circles. Last breath cycle. And then back into your neutral space, tabletop position. Tuck your toes, we're making our way into a downward dog. So you want to start with the knees bent, push your hips nice and high and keep the knees bent here. So it's almost like a half down dog. You want to feel how the shoulders are nice and strong. So as you push into the floor with the hands, you lift your upper body out of the shoulders. And then you can start to straighten your legs, make your way into your downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift both heels, and with an exhale, ground through both heels. Again, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower them down. One more, inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift both, bend your knees, look forward, and step to the top of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and rise. Bring the arms up, palms together, a little back bend at the top this time. And then float the hands to your heart. Samasthiti. Take a breath in and out. Let's come through again. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana, little back bend. Chair pose this time, sit the hips back, Utkatasana. Take a breath here, lift the heart. Fold forward on your exhale. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Back to plank, exhale. Breath cycle in. This time come all the way to your belly, either through the knees or all the way down. Baby cobra, inhale, lift your heart. Back into your tabletop. Take a breath here. Separate your fingers nice and wide, tuck your toes, and lift your knees. Back into your down dog, hips high, ground through the heels. You can take a few breaths as you pedal out the heels, pushing one down at a time. Inhale, lift both heels, bend your knees, look forward, and step to the top of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Take breath cycle in. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Rise through the inhale, little back bend at the top. Hands to heart on your exhale. Samasthiti, breathe. From here, inhale, reach up. Little back bend, chair pose on the exhale. Breathe in, nice and deep. Fold on your exhale. Lengthen through the inhale. Hop or step to plank or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And as you exhale, back into your downward facing. Hips high, heels grounding. It's okay if your heels don't touch the floor. They still move in that direction. Steady your breath in your down dog. Lift both heels, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Uttanasana. Take an in-breath, lengthen the spine. Chair pose, exhale. Inhale, rise, little back bend, and then hands to heart through the exhale. You can release your hands, palms facing forward. Shoulders roll back, navel to spine. Steady breath. We're coming through a moon salutation. So from here, you can turn so that you are facing the side of your mat. You've got a lot of space on either side of you. You're going to start with your feet side by side. You can have your toes touching and a little bit of space between the heels, or you can start at hip width distance. You can inhale, reach up, nice big stretch at the top. Exhale to the right side, take a nice half moon stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. And then bring your arms into a T-shaped position, step your feet wide. Turn the toes out and come down into your goddess stance. So you're in a nice low squat. You can either keep the arms nice and straight, or you can bring them into a bend like a cactus shape. Take one breath in and out. From here, arms back into a T shape. Now we're taking Trikonasana to the right. So turn the left toes. You want them to point, or you want your left foot parallel to the outside of your mat. Turn the right toes towards the back of the room or towards that end of your mat. And then slide your whole body to the right. You want to lower that right hand. You can bring it either to your thigh, your shin, a block, or the mat. Nice big stretch. And also making sure to look towards the ceiling if possible, or towards the side wall. Pyramid pose, look down. From here, you can place both hands on blocks or on your mat. If you prefer, you can even bring your hands to your waist. The one thing you want to be very careful about here is you're pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. And if you're in your half fold here, you want to engage the belly, heart forward. Or you can fold nice and deeply. Bring your forehead towards the knee. From here, low lunge. So you're framing the right foot, turn the back foot, and then lower the back knee. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, bring the arms up, nice big stretch at the top, take a little back bend. Now from here, bring the hands back down. So we're setting up in a side lunge. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and you're going to be side lunging into the right leg. So you can basically keep the right foot where it is. You may choose to turn the foot in slightly. And then as you make your way into your Skandasana, your side lunge, you're bending the right knee, you straighten the left leg, and you're on the heel of the left foot. You can take a variation here that aligns. Maybe you play with your balance today. Maybe you prefer more of a side stretch through the left side of your body and you extend the arm nice and high. Inhale, bring yourself back into center. So you're going to lift the hips, come into a wide leg forward fold. You can turn both toes towards the side wall as you fold forward here. Relax your neck. Elbows bent. From here, take your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. We're coming to side lunge on the other side, so we're working backwards from here. Now your left toes will turn out slightly, and you're side lunging into the left leg, come onto the heel of the front, or rather the right foot. And again, you can take whatever variation felt nice in your body, maybe a side stretch. Maybe you're balancing here with both hands at your heart. Bring both hands down, coming back into Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So now you're turning towards the left leg and lower the right knee. Inhale, reach up. Nice big stretch here. You really want to feel that opening through the front body, especially down into the front of the right hip, into the quad. And then lower your hands down. Let's get set up in pyramid pose. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and then from here you can lower that back heel. Now, if you had your hands on your waist, you can bring them straight up here. Maybe place your hands on your blocks or on the floor. And again, you want to draw the left hip back, right hip forward, and then fold as much as possible here. And again, that might mean a half fold, which is actually a long spine here, chest forward, shoulders back. Take one more breath. Now we're getting set up in our Trikonasana triangle pose. So from here, you're going to keep that left hand either on the block, mat, shin, or thigh, and then lift the right arm. Trikonasana, you may need to adjust your back foot. If it was turned in, you could also keep it there. However, you might prefer outer edge of the right foot parallel to the back of the mat. From here, bring yourself up, arms in a T-shaped position. You can turn both feet straight forward in the same direction you're looking, and then out slightly as we come back down into Goddess, Utthata Konasana. In your Goddess, you want to feel like the tailbone is what's grounding. You want to lift the navel. Take another breath. Rise to standing. You can bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, and heel toe the feet about hip width distance. Take a big stretch, and then exhale to the left. Back to center on the inhale. Exhale to the right. We're going to come through the other side. Inhale back to center. And then from here, feet wide, toes pointing out. Back into your Goddess stance, Utthata Konasana. This time you can place your hands on your thighs, fingers in. Lean forward slightly, and as you exhale, bring the right shoulder down. Inhale, lift the shoulders back to center. Exhale, left shoulder down. Let's do it again, twice more on each side. Move with your breath in and out. Again, in. Out. Last one. Stay low in the lunge. One more breath. Straight. So you're turning the left toes. So the left toes are pointing forward. Your right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And we're coming into Trikonasana. Slide your body to the side, lower the left hand, and extend the right to the sky. Steady breathing. Now from here, pyramid pose. So you can lower both hands, and you can either take the same variation that you did going the other way, or if you're working more with shoulders today, you can start with a halfway lift, hands on your waist. You can then come into your reverse prayer, palms together, behind the body, fingers pointing up, and then you can bring your chest forward from here. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Lower your hands, and then coming into your Anjaneyasana low lunge. Lower the right knee, untuck the toe. Inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. In this crescent lunge, you want to hold the right wrist and take a stretch to the left. So you're pulling that right arm, getting that stretch all the way through that right side body. Come back to center. Lower both hands down, side lunge or skandasana. So you're lifting the back knee and you're going to stay bending into that left leg and lift the right heel. Now you can again play with some other variations here. You might start to play with balance, hands to heart. Maybe you take a side stretch in either direction, or you can work more with shoulder release. Bring the left arm behind the left leg, right arm behind the back. Now from here, release the hands, standing wide leg forward fold. Turn both feet so that they're pointing in the same direction. Lengthen the spine halfway. And again, to work with shoulders, hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, and then fold from here. If this is too intense for your shoulders, you can always bring your hands back down to the floor, elbows bent, back of the neck nice and soft. And if you're playing with the arms behind your back today, really start to lift. You want to feel that stretch in the rotator, and also through the front side of the shoulder, relax your head. One more breath. And then lower your hands down. Nice, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Side lunge to the right. Turn the right toes out. Lunge down into the right leg. And then again, playing with whatever variation you want to on this side. And there's no wrong way to play. So really start to explore your boundaries in these shapes. If balance is usually what's challenging for you, maybe you play with the balance today. If you're working with shoulder release, maybe you do the shoulder variation. Maybe you keep both hands on the ground and you're really working with release through the legs, the low body and the hips. Release your hands. Coming back into our Anjaneyasana. So low lunge, you're turning towards the back wall. Lower your left knee, untuck the left toe. Arms up, crescent lunge. Hold the left wrist and stretch to the right side. Nice big opening through the left of your body. Another breath here. Inhale, back to center. Lower your hands, we're setting up in pyramid. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and get yourself set up in your pyramid pose. So you ideally want to have that back heel on the ground. If it's lifted, that's also fine. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. And if you are working with the hands behind the back today, you can take reverse prayer or any other variation. Hands on the ground, your blocks, your waist, whatever aligns for you today. Release your arms. Setting up in Trikonasana. So now you adjust that left foot so that your outer edge is parallel to the back of the mat. Right hand either on your shin, your block at the ground, left arm to the ceiling. One more breath. Back into your standing position. Arms wide in a T shape. Turn both feet facing the same direction and then out. So heels in, toes pointing out. Come back into your goddess stance. This time arms straight towards the ceiling. Come down to your goddess, Utthata Konasana. You can place the palms together and bend your elbows, taking a tricep stretch here. Stay low in the lunge. You can rock a little from side to side. Let's take one more breath. Arms up, heel toe the feet together. Take a big stretch, bend to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Back to center. Hands to heart. You can close your eyes. You can release your hands. Tadasana. And then from here, come back to the top of your mat. It's the last part of the standing series here. Again, your feet are hip width distance or big toes touching, a little bit of space between the heels. Sometimes the feet a little wider can feel more stable, so you play around with that. You're going to bring your hands to your low back. And what you're doing is avoiding pushing forward. So that's not the goal here. Instead, you actually want to feel like you're pushing down with the heels of your hands and then lifting the chest. So you want to feel like your spine continues to grow and get longer. And a byproduct of that length is a deeper back bend. Like you're not pushing the hips forward. Instead, you're stretching the spine. Continue to breathe as you deepen. And then from here, come back to center. You can open your feet a little wider and then fold forward. Nice deep forward fold. A few different variations. You could take ragdoll position. You could take your big toes in your index and middle finger. Elbows bent, and deepen your forward fold. Relax your head, relax the back of your neck. From here, lengthen the spine, chest forward, halfway lift. Step back with your left leg. So you're back with the left leg. Plant the left hand in step. So left hand, you're coming onto the outer edge of your left foot, and then lift the right arm. So we're in a modified side plank, Ardha Vashisthasana. You want to feel the hips lifting here, and at the same time, you can rock a little bit forward and backwards. You want to get a nice stretch through the glutes, through the hip on the right side. You can play with lifting the hips, reaching forward, and then reaching back as you lower the hips, really allowing for what your body needs right now. Take another breath. Now from here, back into your lunge position where you started. Now you're going to be turning towards the left. So I've got my back turned towards you right now. I do apologize for that. You want to sway from side to side. So we're going from side lunge to side lunge. Your toes are pointing out, heels are pointing in, and you're rocking from side to side. Let your upper body sway. It's almost like your hands are painting the floor. Your upper body nice and soft. Your neck, your shoulders. Couple of moments to sway. So you're turning around. Next time you come to the left, both hands frame your left foot. Turn both feet towards the front, or rather now the front of your mat. And then from here, step back into plank. From your plank, take a breath in. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And as you exhale, back into your down dog. Breathe steady. Fingers spread wide. One more breath. And then from here, lift your right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to right elbow, same side. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to left elbow, opposite side. Inhale, kick back. And as you exhale, lunge. All the way forward, arms up, back knee lifted, crescent lunge, right hip back, left hip forward. Fold, plant the hands, and step forward. Uttanasana, forward fold, take your halfway lift, and on your exhale, fold. Bend your knees and rise. Little back bend at the top, and then float the hands to your heart. Breathe. One more breath. Inhale, bring the arms up. Nice big stretch at the top. Now we're coming into that back bend again. So start to think of lifting the chest and becoming a little taller and a little taller. And a byproduct of that height is a back bend. Inhale back to center. Fold on the exhale. Lengthen your spine. Step back with your right leg this time. Plant the right hand. And then Ardha Vashisthasana, your half side plank, modified side plank. You're on the outer edge of the right foot. Use the left leg to stabilize. And then you can wiggle around, move into the hips. Explore this shape in your body. Back into your lunge position. Take a breath in the lunge. Back into plank. You can flow here, chaturanga, upper cobra, back to down dog, and this down to your knees or anahatasana. Arms extend forward, hips stay high, and then lower your forehead down. So it's not quite as deep as a child's pose, though the heart is nice and open here, the arms stretch forward, hips push back. Take one more breath. Come back into your table. And then from here, tuck your toes, lift back into your downward facing dog. So this time, lift your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, knee to left elbow, same side. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, knee to right elbow, opposite side. Inhale, lift your leg. Lunge position. left leg forward. Inhale, bring the arms up, crescent lunge. Right hip forward, left hip back, heart open. And then from here, lower both hands, back into your wide leg forward fold. So you're turning towards the side, and then again, toes out, heels in. You can sway from side to side here. And then from here, back to center. And however you make your way into the middle of your mat is absolutely fine. You're going to sit down. I'm going to face towards you, but it doesn't really matter which direction you're facing. Come into a wide leg seat. From here, you might untuck the flesh of the sit bones, untuck the thighs a little bit, and then start to feel the heart lifting. Fingertips to the ground or onto your blocks. And then start to lean forward. So it's not about how deep into this shape that you go. It's really about the quality of the stretch. You want to feel the spine getting longer as the heart pulls forward. Rather than reaching your arms and bending the back, you actually want to feel like you're pulling the heart forward and the shoulders draw back. Chest forward, shoulders back, continue to fold. And if for you today that means coming all the way down onto your forearms or your forehead, please do. And if today you're a little higher up, you can play around with different expressions. You can either hold the toes and fold this way, or keep your hands on the ground, or maybe you prefer the fingertips behind you and lift nice and tall. Another few breaths. So really allowing yourself to melt into this space. And if you're gritting your teeth and you're feeling like this is really treacherous right now, then feel free to ease off a little bit. You don't want to be in pain. You don't want to feel like this is somewhere that you really don't want to be. But instead, always playing with that edge and pushing that edge a little bit farther as you develop more flexibility, more openness. If you're clenching your jaw, relax the jaw. Sometimes that can actually affect how deep into the hips we can go. Three more breaths. Noticing if your body has been able to ease into this shape a little more deeply. And if not, that's also okay. Wherever you are today is perfect. Start to lift. Nice and slowly, you're going to help your legs. So take your hands underneath of the knees and help them together. A lot of openness for the hips, and so you want to be very gentle as you bring them back together. You can take a moment to hug the knees. Feel free to round the spine, round the shoulders if that feels good. And then from here, if you're turned to the side, you're facing back on your mat and sitting lengthwise. And if you're already here, then that's great. You're coming onto your sit bones. We're making our way into a boat pose or navasana. So many, many variations of this pose. You could start out by holding onto the thighs and then leaning back slightly. This could be where you stay and where you play today. That's totally fine. Another option could be to bring the legs to 90 degrees. You could also straighten the legs. You could extend the arms. You want to think of your inner thighs pulling together. Imagine that you're holding a block between the knees. We're moving with the breath. As you inhale, bring it down into a half boat. Then as you exhale, back up to the top. So again, as you inhale, you're lowering down halfway, the feet hover, the shoulders hover. Exhale, back into boat. Let's do a few more. Inhale slowly for the count of 3. Exhale to the count of 1. Again, inhale. Exhale. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Again. Last one. And then from here, bring your feet down. If you want to stay working with the core a little bit here, you can roll yourself down nice and slowly, arms extend forward, and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. For those of you who want a little more support, same idea, but you're on the forearms and then rolling down. Try not to collapse to the floor. And then pull your right knee to your chest. So we're taking figure 4. You can cross your ankle, right ankle over the left knee, and then pull both legs in. You can rock from side to side. That can feel really supportive in this shape. Or you can stay totally still. And always exploring your body in these shapes. What feels best. Maybe finding a whole new variation. A couple more deep breaths as you feel the hip release here. To take it a step farther, a little tilt to the left can feel really nice sometimes. You can also use your right hand to push the right knee forward or toward the ceiling. That can feel really nice too in the hip. Bring it back to center. And then from here, place the left foot on the floor. We're coming into a twist. You're crossing the right leg like you're sitting down in a chair. Now, for those of you who have a more sensitive low back or some SI joint issues, this may not feel the best to cross the legs. So you always have the ability to uncross your legs at any time. Please trust that you know best. Arms open wide, T-shaped position. And then whether your legs are side by side or crossed, the hips move to the right. Your knees come down to the left. Hips to the right, knees to the left. Turn your head to the right side. You want to feel the whole spine rotating open. And again, if you got to this space and then you started to feel there was too much pressure on your low back, you can always uncross your legs once you're in the twist. Just be nice and slow with your movement. Let's take another deep breath. Bring first your head back to center. You can bring your knees and then your hips back to center. Pull both knees to your chest, give yourself a squeeze, reset the spine. Maybe rock a little from side to side. This time, keep the left knee in, place your right foot on the ground, and cross your ankle over your thigh. Setting up in your figure 4. Again, you can pull the knees to your chest. This side could feel like a very different experience than the first. That's okay. Recognize if it does, if it's a little more intense or challenging, or possibly this side feels a little more easy, a little more smooth. Again, you can take one of those variations to deepen, either rocking your body to the right, or using that, or using the left arm to push your left leg forward. You could place your hand or your forearm on that left thigh and push forward. Take another deep breath. And then place your right foot on the ground. Again, cross your legs like you're sitting in a chair, or uncross the legs, arms wide in a T-shaped position. This time your hips go to the left and your knees come down to the right. Hips to the left, knees to the right. Turn your head to the left and breathe. Let your body melt here. Last breath. First your head comes back, and then your knees, and then your hips come back to center. You can uncross your legs, pull your knees to your chest, rock a little from side to side. Maybe you take happy baby pose, Anand Balasana. So you're holding the outer edges of the feet. Your feet are parallel to the ceiling, and you're pulling the knees down to the floor beside your body. Try to keep your shoulders, the back of your head, and also your low back grounded. And you can play here. You can always discover a new edge here. You can extend the legs, maybe rock a little from side to side. Nice steady breath. And then from here, you can release your legs. Feet to the ground, knees bent. Let's take a bridge pose. So walk your heels as close as you can towards your sit bones. Your feet are at hip width distance. And if you can, you want to be able to touch the ankles. And if not, that's okay. Now, before we come any farther, you're going to start by grounding through the heels and then the big toe mound, and then engage your glutes. So you're actually using the strength of the glutes and the force of pushing into your feet to lift. You're not using the low back here. Keep the glutes engaged, and then lower your sit bones back down, and then you can release the glutes. So this is an exercise here to really focus on strengthening the glutes so that we can support the pelvis. So engage your glutes, push into the floor, lift your hips. You're holding that engagement. Inner thighs squeeze together like you're holding a block. Keep the glutes engaged as you lower your hips back down, and then you can release them. Let's do this one last time. Engage and lift. Now you're holding that engagement. Lift the right leg. The left glute stays engaged. Exhale, lower the right foot, engage the glute. Lift the left leg. Exhale, lower the left foot, keep both glutes engaged. And then from here, you can stay in your bridge, or you can release if you feel you need to. If you're staying in the bridge, you can play with the option to bring your hands behind your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and continue to lift the hips. Let's take one more breath. And then from here, gently release. Come back down, knees to chest. You can rock a little from side to side. Butterfly pose. So you can bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall open wide. We won't be staying for too long here today. You can bring the arms up, arms overhead. Maybe you're holding the wrist, or maybe you hold onto your elbows. And if that doesn't feel appropriate for your shoulders, you can always take one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Relax your jaw, relax your brow bone, soften the chest, soften your belly. Be a couple more breaths here. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees, and again, support yourself. Help the knees together. You can let your knees come together, separate your feet wide, constructive resting pose. This is a nice counter to such an open position. It really helps to support the dichotomy of the movement in the hips here, in the groin. So we've got a nice open spine from a lot of back bending today. So I'm going to offer a couple variations here. So you can come into a seated position. Now, for those of you who have support from props in your house, so if you have blocks or a bolster or an extra yoga mat, I'm actually going to grab a couple here, or even a rolled up towel, like something nearby. I wouldn't say leave the room to grab anything. It's not super necessary, but if you want to, I'll offer a variation of supported fish today. So you can also do this pose without any support. It's a little more advanced. And so I'm offering these options for you guys so that you can play around. So if you're using the bolster or a roll up towel or your yoga mat, it's going across the back of your body horizontally, and it's going just underneath the heart here. You want to support the shoulder blades. So I'm going to offer this variation first, and then for those of you who don't have anything, no worries. If you're using your blocks, you're probably going to place one block on the lowest setting under your shoulders, the other block on the mid setting under your head. And then you're going to get set up so that the heart is lifted, the shoulders are supported, and then if you have that second block, you can place it under your head as well, though it may not be necessary. For those of you who do not have support this morning, no problem. What you're going to do instead is you're going to create a little shoulder stand. So what this is going to feel like is you're bringing the shoulder blades, you're going to bring your shoulder blades together and create like a little stand with the shoulders. So what this is going to look like is you'll start with the knees bent, and you're going to start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Walk the elbows a little closer together behind you, and then lower your head down. So you're on the top of your head, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You might have to come and adjust your body a little bit here. You can keep the knees bent. You could even bring your hands behind your back and interlace the fingers if you find that that's more supportive. You can stay with the knees bent, or you can start to stretch the legs. If you have your hands interlaced behind your back, the placement might feel a little funny, and that's okay. Finding the best variation for you this morning. The idea here is that the heart is lifted and open. You want the throat space nice and open, and you want the back of your head resting on something, whether it's the support of your block or the mat. You want to feel like you can relax here. So if you're really struggling this morning and you're not feeling like you can release into the support beneath you, no problem. Come out of it completely and find another variation of a pose that feels nice. Maybe that's Shavasana. So letting the legs extend and taking up as much space as you can with your arms and legs. And once you are positioned here, we're going to be using this pose today as Shavasana. So again, if you don't feel comfortable, if you feel like you're fidgeting and you're having a hard time relaxing, then that's okay. You can remove the support completely and then come down into Shavasana. And then once you feel like you're positioned, the heart open, the throat open, you want to let that space feel like it's opening. You want to feel the heart space melting open here. In our culture, we have this way about us where we round the shoulders forward. We're always covering up the heart space, almost like a protective mechanism. And so this is a really great practice, a release of that space. The heart space is our emotional center. It's how we connect with the external world and the people around us. And so as you feel the shoulders and the collarbone and all of the muscles surrounding that area soften, feel the heart space begin to open. And invite in anything here that supports your needs. Gratitude for having clean, healthy water. Gratitude for the people who surround us. Sometimes a nice deep breath, a big sigh can feel really supportive in the release process here. Allowing the muscles to soften, allowing the chest to open. Take a moment to observe behind closed eyes. What do you see? When your eyes are closed, do you see anything? Is it darkness? Do you see colors, shapes, or very clear images? And as you breathe deep breaths into that space, into the chest and the heart, what type of expansiveness, what types of experience and feelings do you get through the entire body as you breathe deeply into that heart space? Always knowing there's no right or wrong answers. There's only observation of your experience. So for those of you who would like to stay in this shape for a little while longer today, feel free to stay as long as you need. If it's feeling really expansive, if it's feeling open and good, and you have the time to stay here for another, 5 minutes or so, then absolutely feel free to do that. For those of you who are ready, be slow. You start by lifting your chin to your chest, protect the neck, and then lift yourself out of that space. You can remove support and take whatever movement feels natural for you. So sometimes rocking around side to side on your back feels supportive. Sometimes fetal position can feel most supportive. Again, no right or wrong. Take your time, move very slowly as you come into a seated position. Again, if you're choosing to stay in fish pose, please ignore all of this and come out in your own time. And for those of you who are ready, and simply observing what's going on in the physical body. What types of sensations do you feel? And try to avoid labeling them as good or bad, and instead simply recognizing sensation. I thank you for practicing with me this morning, and I hope that you have a really wonderful sunny day. Namaste.